is a four-time Paralympian, including 3 gold medal wins as the goaltender for the U.S. Paralympic Sled Hockey team. He is also friend of the show status.
Yes.
He's been on NHL Now
right.
before. We are happy to have him back as we celebrate Hockey Week across America. Steve, you're from St. Louis. I know you're a Blues fan, so I'm going to start there because your Blues just won their 11th straight game. What has been the most exciting part of this run for you as a fan? This is your team.
I mean, more than just a fan, but as a goaltender, it's so much fun to watch the goaltending. I think it's great that they're getting the scoring support that they've wanted, since the beginning of the season. But like I told you guys earlier, the Blues that I'm watching now are the ones that, I've come to know and love over the past couple of decades. So it's awesome to see what they're doing right now.
All right, you're a goalie. What do you think of Mr. Jordan Binnington? He has come in there and played very, very well.
The guy is rock solid. He's cool as a cucumber. Just being able to watch him play, watch him in action. I think it's safe to say he's got quite a long career ahead of him. And I think, obviously, it's hard to say it's only up from here, but I think for him, it's true in more ways than one.
Steve, we have it on good authority that the next USA Sled Hockey Classic is coming to your location live and in person. As a St. Louis native, that's got to have you and folks around you buzzing, I would think.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So they're going to hold it at the St. Louis Community Center, which is a brand new state-of-the-art facility that they're building with 4 sheets. One of them is going to be an outdoor sheet, but I think it's just great to have a national sled hockey tournament come here so we can really showcase what we can do out there on the ice. And then on top of that, it reduces the travel for me. But I do want to say, Stu, I heard you speak last year, a couple of years ago, at the Classic that they had in Nashville. And
I remember that.
Would it be too much to ask you to come and tell some of your stories here in St. Louis?
Oh, gosh, what a great invite. What a great invite. Let's talk about it after the show. I'd be honored.
Right.
I would be honored. Thank you.
It was fun.
Oh, that's awesome. There you go. Now you got another gig. Get another gig under your belt.
Note to the calendar. Hockey Sled Class.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Stu does have some really good stories. It is Hockey Week across America, Steve, so I wanted to ask you, as somebody that's been so successful, I'm sure you do numerous speaking engagements yourself, but how do you sort of give back to the game of hockey that you love so much?
Well, it's definitely tough to say that I'll ever be able to give back as much as hockey's given me, but there's quite a few cases that I really like to adhere myself to as far as community outreach and being able to give back a little bit. And one of those would be pediatric cancer. That's something that hits home to me because I was diagnosed at the age of 3 with bone cancer. That's how I lost my leg, and just remembering some of the things the hardships that I had to deal with back then after losing my leg, and some of the struggles that come with it. I think it only makes sense to really be kind of an ambassador and a light of hope for those that are going through the same thing. And then on top of that, I think pediatric cancer research really has come a long way, but there's still a lot of progress to be made. So, hopefully, one step at a time, day by day, we're getting it right. But I just did an event in Washington D.C. with the Landon School over there, and their high school hockey team actually buzzed their heads, and some of them even shaved the locks to pay honor and pay homage to that movement. And it was put on by Ethan and Max Weinstein. A couple of the kids on the team, and it's just great to see the initiative they have and everything that they did for the community that weekend. And it only wants me to do that and much more going forward.
Well, there's no question you are quite an inspiration for all of us who watch you and the way you play and the way you guys have done such a great job. And I wanted to go back to that Olympics from 2018 because that was a crazy finish. And what's your memory now? It's a little time has gone on from then. So what is your takeaway from that? Because that was a great finish and it was a great win for you guys.
Well, yeah, I think it's definitely not something that you can put on paper. I mean, that was totally unscripted. The way it went down, getting that that post, the Canadian hitting that post with a minute to go in the game, with us being down 1-0. We like to say that that was Coach Jeff Sauer, blowing the puck just a couple of inches, just enough to keep it out of the net to give us a chance to win. And obviously I'm super grateful for how it ended up, because it could have gone either way. But it just goes to show that if you play with the heart and you just remember everything that you've trained for and everything that you've done in the past leading up to this moment, that, good things will happen. And I'm proud of the way my teammates rallied around me. They never gave up every step of the way. And I remember between the second and third period, I told Brody or Declan, I brought them together and I said, it's going to be one of you guys that carry us home, so get it done. And they definitely lived the challenge, just like the other 15 guys on the team. And I'm just super proud to say that I'm a 3-time gold medalist because of them.
Steve, last thing from me. I mean, given your experience on the international stage, your success on the international stage, a lot of our viewers, I'm sure, would want to know, who are some of the dominant nations on the sled hockey scene? And let me just, before you answer, let you know that 2 of the 3 broadcasters on this stage right now will be very upset if you don't mention Canada.
Yeah, the silver. We should mention the silver medalist, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we know. We
should, Steve. Yeah.
Who else is good?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to put it more delicately than that, but no. It's definitely, it would be us in Canada. We've been neck and neck for quite a while.
Makes sense.
I started in 2005. They've been at the top of the scene ever since then, and we've battled our way up. But right now it's us, them. Korea's a really good team. Russia's always been there since the Sochi days. And there's other teams coming up, like China's got a team they just started last year, and I can see them being pretty good come World Championships or next season. So, and then adding to that, Italy was 4th place in Korea last year, and so I know that they're always going to be a tough competitor. But the good news is there's always new teams coming up, and there's now expanded to a C pool. So it's just room for the sport to grow, and I know that there's going to be plenty more teams coming up that we're going to have to watch out for.
All right, sounds awesome. I love it. Listen, I said you were a friend of the show status when I introduced you, and I wasn't lying. We appreciate the time. Continued success.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. It's always a blast.